Hi guys, welcome back to the Princess D&Diaries. I'm Sydney.
I'm Max.
So last where we left off, I killed Ben Shapiro.
It was brutal too.
Yeah. Thank you to anyone who listened to the first episode. We've got 9 streams, so pretty big deal. 8 of them were me.
Also, side note, we should post this on YouTube. I guess that's where most people listen to podcasts.
Oh, you know what? That is true.
I thought it was Spotify, but no, apparently more people listen to podcasts on YouTube.
You know what? That's so true, because the only podcasts that I listen to are on YouTube. I do listen to them on YouTube. I'm like, you know what? I'll be damned if I give Spotify $1. I say as I have a Spotify account.
As I have a Spotify account.
Yeah. Be like, small time podcasters, you're not getting pennies from me from my Spotify stream. We just finished our Tuesday game. We haven't played in 2 weeks, so it was really fun to play with these people again.
It's so fun. If you guys are listening, hi.
Hey, gang. One of my favorite moments from tonight was Max's Air Genasi Bard character who wants to be Chris Angel. I forget what the context was, but Andy or DM said something and asked you, what kind of card or something did you want, or like what did you work? Because we went to Fantasy Jersey Shore.
I just remembered.
It's all coming back to me like Celine Dion.
I was listening out today. Sorry, carry on.
What a banger song.
Absolute banger.
We went to Fantasy Jersey Shore and we go to a t-shirt shop because my character was like, I know somebody there. We go and the person working the t-shirt shop desk was like, oh, hey, like what do you want on your shirt to Max's character? And he goes, I'll get some sort of, card trick on there because I'm a sleight of hand magician. So naturally she says, is there a specific card that you want on the shirt? And he tips his fedora down in front of his eyes, smirks, and goes, the Joker. I lost my ever-loving shit.
I was sitting there and I was like, okay, conjure a deck of cards in your brain. And then I was like, oh, obviously the Joker. Like, of course. And what's so important is that he's wearing, like, a 1920s style bathing suit. Like, the striped shirt, pants, socks matching. And then a wicker fedora. So it's
a wicker
so
fedora.
Unserious.
And we found out that Air Genasis can apparently hold their breath, thus meaning they can hold their breath underwater. So he's just swimming around in this pinstriped bathing suit. He looks like he's about to get the call to duty to try to save his gal, his darling, from being tied to the train tracks. Like, it was crazy. And this isn't regular D&D. We're playing in a modern fantasy setting, mind you. And he's still dressed up like an 1820s.
Well, because our DM was like, okay, we're going down the line. What is everyone wearing to the beach? And I was like, he normally wears a button-up collared shirt, red tie, fedora, slacks, dress shoes.
Naturally.
What is he wearing to the beach? And I go, he's not wearing, like, swim trunks. There's no way. And then I was like, he's also, because I did for a second think, like, is he going, like, G-string? Like, is he doing, like, a Speedo room?
God.
And then I was like, no, he keeps it pretty buttoned up. He's honestly pretty, as opposed to
He's
Maggie,
got demure arms.
He's got, okay, wait, I was saving that for later, because that's my favorite moment. But I was like, he's more on the conservative side just because in my head, he's blue, but he's ghostly pale.
Yes.
So he will burn. But yeah, and then I was like, I think like an old-timey swimsuit is the way to go. And then I was like, and that's perfect because they wore straw flat top hats. But Stormy is never without
I should have known, yeah. Oh,
he needs his fedora.
Oh God, how did I not do the research beforehand? God damn it.
Fuck.
Fuck. Can't keep flipping like this.
My favorite moment, well, there was multiple. Karma was insane today, as she always is, honestly. It was such a tie between Demure Arms, which was trying to, like, scam this poor guy that she went to high school with, out of getting a free jacket.
Yeah,
which
a windbreaker. Yes,
which
it did
worked.
work.
And now our characters have matching windbreakers. What does the windbreaker say on it? I went to...
It says on the back, I went to where they shot Tony Ravioli and all I got was this lousy windbreaker. And that's a reference to... Because again, this is like they're at like magical Jersey Shore, and I grew up in New Jersey. The town that I grew up in, they filmed The Sopranos, and the very ending scene of the series where Tony Soprano gets shot at that
Spoiler
diner.
alert.
Yeah, me just like putting gunshots over for a show that ended in like the early 2000s. Yeah, Tony fucking Soprano. I mean, like, it's not, you don't know if Tony gets shot, but it's like he gets shot. But
yeah.
So they filmed that in my hometown, and at the diner they had a booth that said like reserved for the Soprano family. And they had Soprano t-shirts, and so I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to use inspiration from that, because they were at some sort of diner on the boardwalk. So my character Karma, who again is the New Jersey goblin monk, she says, oh my god, guys, you're gonna love this place. This is where they shot Tony Ravioli. And so when our DM gave us a list of magical items we could choose from, and the description was like just a windbreaker that did X, Y, and Z. They gave different stat ads. So then while my character's talking to the guy and she's trying to scam him out of the windbreaker, she said, oh, my arms are so cold. I have such, like, I have such demure arms.
You said demure, but you also said, introverted arms at one point.
I said her arms were introverted.
And I just lost it.
Yeah, she has shy arms.
She had demure arms.
Her shy, demure arms. Yeah, I was like, oh, if only a windbreaker of sorts could warm me up. And he goes, oh, like one of the windbreakers over there. And so that's when I said, oh yeah, the ones that said I went to where they shot Tony Ravioli, and all I got was a Lassie windbreaker. So now Karma and Stormy are matching with their windbreakers, let's say that. But yeah, it was a really fun session. I really miss this group of people. Oh, another good moment was we have a warlock who's a bug person in our party, and there was like what I thought was a joke saying that his name is Favis. It was like, oh yeah, Favis went to cleric school and Favis is a college student. But we all knew that, like, Favis was a warlock, like, out of character. So I'm thinking, like, oh, it's just, like, a bit that they started doing. Our fucking DM is having an NPC moment with Favis and goes, oh, hey, Favis, so I had a vision of one of the college professors you used to tell me about back in the day, basically, like, revealing that his college professor is evil and possibly... By Favis signing up to go to community college, he signed away his soul, which is what has given him his warlock powers. And all this time, Favis, like, actually legitimately has thought that he is a cleric, and he's been a warlock to higher education, which my jaw was on the floor. I was like, actually, that's so good. Even though I knew he was already a warlock, that was such a good reveal.
So incredible. I'm really loving, like, everyone's backstory has just been, like, so fun. Everyone's just character ideas and, like, backstory. It's just been so fun. I really love it.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's such a good group. Andy, you run a great game. friends, you play a great game. Max is tipping their
I
fedora.
forgot that you guys can't see, and I tipped my fedora, and then I went, they can't see, so I tipped my fedora to no one.
Yeah, you
It's
tipped
just
it to
really
me.
embarrassing. To Sydney, yeah.
Yeah, I'll
The
take the
lady.
fedora tip. Oh yeah, but I did roll like absolute fucking shit tonight, and then I did realize afterwards is that my character's got a fucking familiar. I could have gotten the fucking
Oh.
help action.
My god.
I know.
I constantly forget to do that, though, with my Monday character, with Maggie.
Yeah.
Wait, you have to tell them your beach outfit, because I was losing my mind. I was losing it.
It was like everyone's describing their beach outfit, and I was like, Karma is. And they're not on the beach yet, they're just on the boardwalk. I was like, she's gone topless, and then she's got like those like shutter shades with crystals all over them that were like really popular in like 2010s that like Stucky and Lady Gaga had. She's also got a sparkly trucker hat and shorts and furry Uggs on. So our DM was like, okay, so she's accessorized, but she's completely naked. I was like, no, she's got underwear and swim trunks on. Don't get it twisted. Her, like, she just doesn't have a top on. She's topless. She's treating
topless.
she's
What's
treating it like a
confusing about
nudie.
that?
What aren't you understanding? FBI, look into this. Yeah, she's just topless at this beach, but just Goblin Areola is full out, as one does.
As one does.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, it was a good time. Speaking of playing games, Max and I have been doing this thing where after our Monday session, we'll have gardens. I'm gonna preface this. I will preface this with, like, we will have gardened.
Yeah.
I don't know how we came to this, but we started looking up, the Write a Prisoner program website. And we've been looking at, this started out with just us looking at interesting prisoners and being like, should we write somebody? FBI, FBI, stop looking for a minute as we talk about this.
Yeah, wait, stop.
FBI, close your ears, close your eyes, because FBI can look into me. I don't want the FBI looking into any prison baddies.
Wait, pause real fast. What is that Tyler Oakley meme where he, like, got the award and then it was, like, monkey covering eye emoji as his acceptance speech?
I found the background story to that. Apparently it's because they could only accept that award with 25 words, so that's why he said that.
That's
an
emoji's worth 1,000 words, and I've always said that.
Yes.
Okay.
And you're on record.
Emoji.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I checked the Library of Congress yesterday, and I did find classified files that were released of you saying that.
No, because that's so crazy, because I was just at the Library of Alexandria before it
Yeah,
burned
my
down,
God.
and there's records
Yes.
there, too.
Oh my god, actually, you know what? I did infiltrate the SpaceX files, and there were alien correspondence that said that they've been picking up on you saying that since the dawn of time. But yeah, so we were looking into the Write a Prisoner program,
Yes.
and so then I suggested, I was like, wait a second, could we do a play-by-post with prisoners? Which, for those of you who don't know, play-by-post is essentially like kind of like written role play, like how they did in ye olde days. And so instead of acting out verbally what you would do at Dungeons and Dragons, it's just like written on Discord and everybody replies to it. So I was like, why don't we do that in letter form with some prisoners?
Yeah.
We get a gang we save people by teaching them how to play Dungeons and Dragons. And I think, you know what, comment below if you would be interested in us finding a prisoner somewhere and inquiring if they wanted to learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe they know already. Maybe they're in prison looking for somebody to play with them and they can't find anyone.
When
we
we
could save them.
looked, there was a few people that mentioned being nerds. And so I think if we could just find a nerd, they might be in.
I will say, though, the one person that we did find that by name mentioned the game Dungeons and Dragons, they did end up being a pedophile.
Yeah,
so...
that was unfortunate. We got excited, and then we have learned to check the crime.
Yes, we've been checking the crime. Yes, so we're researching. So like a third degree murder is like the worst, like the less bad murder, right?
I honestly don't know the scale.
I think first degree murder is planned. Like
Okay.
you plot it. Okay.
Yeah.
But so then I would assume third degree, yeah. Third degree murder, I can get on board with that. Like you accidentally, you manslaughter someone. We've all been there. FBI, look into me.
FBI, look into her. If it's like robbery or like, especially like possession, like, oh what, drug charges? Let's play D&D, baby.
I want to play with somebody that knows how to like traffic meth throughout the country.
And I think
that's just cool. That's great.
That's
a good. You gotta open up your network. Exactly. They could play a rogue.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my god, that's perfect. Wait, that's I think a great question is between the different types of drugs, what class is each drug?
Ooh.
I think weed is druid for sure.
Oh,
everyone always says like, oh, it's
absolutely.
natural. It's a natural plant. You know. That's
Coke
druid.
is monk, just because of like I feel like it just like hits you and you're all over the place.
Yeah.
Not that I would know. FBI.
Not
look
that I
into
would
me.
at all know, but I heard of someone who got like very strong for like a brief moment during Coke. So
they got strong.
they were able to
What?
fully lift someone that they normally could not have lifted and carry them
my
up a
God.
staircase, bridal style.
That's insane. You hear that? You heard that here first, folks.
It's from,
Cocaine
I heard
makes
it
you
from
strong.
I heard it from a random person at a bar, but
Yeah.
someone was drunk and they needed to be carried, and person did a line and then lifted them up a staircase. So I think Monk is correct. Feel free to cut any of this.
Cut that.
Cut that.
Molly might be Bard. Or
I
no.
was gonna say I was gonna say Molly Bard.
Or like Shroom or LSD Bard.
Oh, see, I was thinking LSD Wizard.
Yeah, I can see that. Let's see what our roster of prisoners think. Dear inmates, what is your... That was like another... Yeah, that was another thing that we talked about the other night, where I said, like, I could not survive in prison because I would get jumped, because I'd be like, oh, let's put on a play, and everyone would be like, I'm gonna shank you. I try to bring the arts to prison.
I think I would do the same. Like, I think I would... I'd go, hey guys. My first day, I'm walking in, I go, hi. They're putting me with the women, unfortunately. Not unfortunately, because I'd rather be with the girlies, but I don't identify as a woman. But as soon as I get in there, hey girlies, does anyone want to be in a musical and play Dungeons and Dragons? And I think they would kill me that first night. But
You could do Chicago with them.
ooh, wait, that's fun.
That's about prisoners. Yeah. I do love that show. Oh, something else that we talked about the other day is that, or I briefly started mentioning to you, so I was on Reddit, as most people with no lives do, and I found a post that was this guy talking about, he had 2 campaigns that he was running, both running for 2 years.
Okay.
I think each were like 6 players each, I believe. So one campaign is about like a group of adventurers, a group of heroes. The other ones are about like a bunch of bad guys. So he didn't tell the group of heroes that he was DMing that the group of big bads that were doing evilry in their world was based on all of the bad things that the villains were doing in his other campaign. So every time those PCs were making bad decisions and destroying that world, that's what was happening in the heroes' world.
Holy shit.
So the very last session of that campaign, like the campaign was ending, it was the finale, chatting with all the heroes, and then all of a sudden you just hear a bunch of Discord blips, like bum 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 bum. And the fucking villains from the other campaign joined in the Discord call. So their very final battle was like, I think it was a 12 or 14 person PvP. So it was both his groups against each other. It was so cool. I lost my shit.
That is so phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's so fun. I think that's just like that's like something D&D should just be doing more.
Yeah.
Is like, or maybe that's, I don't know,
terrorizing your friends. Game. Well, with your other like, group of friends.
It's so cool, I guess, to have, I guess, just the concept of like PvP but planned.
Yes.
I think PvP is just fun when it's like done right. And I just love the idea of you're not just going against the I guess that's like other maybe that's just other games. Maybe I don't know anything. Like
we don't know what a spell DC is.
You know what? I think that's just Magic the Gathering, because isn't that you're fighting against each other?
Yeah.
With cards, so I guess maybe I just need to get into Magic the Gathering. I think this is like the third week I've said that, but I'm like, I just thinking that like the concept of like, okay, you guys are gonna fight each other now is so sick.
Yeah, that's so, because also it's like a lot of times it's like PV happens because there's like conflict, like, you know, people are so weary of PvP because it's not typically done fun. It's like, oh, two people are beefing, and now the beef has soaked from feelings in character to now they're out of character selves. So now they're like, okay, now I'm just gonna like beat your ass in game because I can't reach across the table and slap you across the face. So it's like, that's not fun, but it is fun when you're like, okay, now like the playing field is even, because now it's you know, it's one party against the other.
Yeah, I like that a lot. I think that's so cool.
It was so cool. Also, just so cool the fact that he had two groups playing for 2 years. I'm like, wow,
phenomenal.
To get your friends together for 2 years consistently, what a world!
What a world!
And speaking of bad vibes, Max, you said that you had an "Am I the Asshole" that you wanted to share.
I do. I found this because I also have no life and peruse Reddit. Am I the asshole for naming my D&D character John Dungeons and Dragons? So
absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
No.
From the get-go, no.
I'm on his side, yeah.
So I recently joined a new D&D group, and everything was going great. Cool people, fun vibe, lots of role-playing. When it was time to introduce our characters, I proudly announced mine, John Dungeons and Dragons. For context, John Dungeons and Dragons, or JD&D as he sometimes calls himself, is a completely normal human fighter. He has a tragic backstory involving the loss of his parents, Greg Dungeons and Sarah Dragons, who were taken from him in a mysterious incident known only as the Reckoning. He swore vengeance and took up the family trade, adventuring. There's absolutely nothing unusual about this. The DM, however, immediately asked me to change the name, saying it broke immersion. I was confused. Why? It's a perfectly reasonable name. I even pointed out that surnames often come from professions. Smiths who are blacksmiths, coopers made barrels. Wait, I did not know coopers came from barrels. That's cool. Okay, anyways, who's to say that there wasn't once a proud line of Dungeons and Dragons is known for their legendary deeds? The other players were mixed. One guy thought it was hilarious, another just kind of sighed, and one, who plays an elf with a 12-syllable name, looked personally offended. The DM said if I didn't change it, I couldn't play. I argued that I was fully committed to playing JD&D seriously. No jokes, no breaking character, just a man on a mission to restore his family's honor. It got a little tense. I stood my ground, and the session ended awkwardly. Now there's a weird group chat discussion happening where some people think I should pick a normal name, while others are saying it's ridiculous to police someone's character like this. So, am I the asshole for refusing to change my character's completely reasonable, 100% lore-friendly name?
Absolutely not the asshole.
No.
I think everybody else is in the wrong. And here's my theory. I feel like when people act like that is because they're mad that the other person is funnier than them.
Yes.
And so they're like trying to be like, you're being silly, you're being goofy. It's like, actually, John Dungeons and Dragons is a genius name.
That's a phenomenal
and I'm gonna
name.
name my kid that.
I was just gonna say, and I might have to name my next character that. I might do a different first name, but something, just blank Dungeons and Dragons is phenomenal.
That's so funny. That's such a good name. What were the comments saying? What was the consensus?
People were saying it was like, most people thought it was funny. Yeah. And a lot of people were like, I get wanting a serious campaign, but then be in a serious campaign. Like, I guess fit the vibe, I guess, of whatever campaign you're in. If you want a goofier campaign, just go find someone who's down to do the goofier stuff, which I guess, like, fair enough. But also, I feel like the only reason they think it's lore breaking is because it's the name of the game, but in the world itself, Dungeons and Dragons are things that are in the world, so I feel like it is fine.
Yeah, like there's if here's my other question: if he chose to just name his character John Dungeon or just John Dragon, would they feel differently?
Exactly.
But now because it's John Dungeons and -Dragon,
it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think they're just being stupid. Get a fucking... I'm sorry, but if someone came to a table I was playing at with that character name, I'd be like, I need to, like, sink my claws into this person and never lose them, because they're single-handedly the funniest person I've ever met.
When I read the name, I was like, I just know they're so funny.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
Like, I just know that in their day-to-day life, they're the funniest person at the office, and that's why they have haters, I fear.
Yeah.
I really do think when you said that, I was like, that's so true. Like, not that specifically I've had this, like, in playing D&D, but just in life. Like, you're only being a hater because I made you laugh.
No, exactly. Yes. Yeah, I haven't had that in D&D specifically either. It's just, like, a thing that, like, I've noticed in real life. But I will say, John Dungeons and Dragon, if you need a new group of people to play with, please reach out to us. We want to be your friends. Please, 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 please. Please. Oh, speaking of saying please a bunch, sort of, this isn't Dungeons and Dragons related, but this was, like, right before our Monday session. I messaged Max, and this is 5 minutes before the session starts. I said, Max, I have something to tell you, like earth-shattering news. And then I just sent Max a 4-second clip of me singing Espresso by Sabrina Carpenter and going, I'm working late because I'm a singer. And that was it. That was the earth-shattering news.
I was rolling my dice, as I do before every D&D game. I have to roll all my dice until they get a 20. And I'm rolling them, and I'm gardening, of course. And so I'm so locked in. And then I finally look up, like, through rolling my dice, I look up, and I just see the earth-shattering news. And I don't know why, but I expected something, like, insane.
Yeah.
And flew to the recording, and then I was like, oh my god.
I'm working late.
I did get, I guess, not payback, but low-key payback, because when we were divaing down later, there was a video I was watching that said breaking news, and I go, breaking news? Holy shit. And then I got so locked into the video, and Sydney was waiting for me to say the breaking
see what the breaking news was.
And I just was so entranced in this video that I, like, didn't respond. And Cindy was like, what is it? And I was like,
what's
oh,
the breaking
it was
news?
in the video, sorry.
I was like, oh my god, like, I thought, because Max goes, oh, breaking news. Like, there was no semblance or wavering of any sort of, like, insincerity or sarcasm or apathy at all. Like, 100%, like, I thought the president got shot again. That's what I thought. I was like, what the fuck just happened? And then Max was like, oh, I was just watching this video and it said breaking news. I was like, motherfucker. But yeah,
Oh my
it was
God.
so funny. But on the topic of Monday, let's hear some Monday session stories, because this Monday was
This Monday was crazy. Hold on, I need to go to our messages so I can look at it, because my notes are our messages.
Or just our messages.
I think the highlight was the mass amount of mpreg conversations we had.
Yes.
It was crazy, and it has made its way now into my Twitch chat. So on my Twitch chat Discord, well, because someone sent a photo of Perry the platypus, and then I was like, unfortunately, downloaded on my phone currently, I have Perry the platypus with abs next to Phineas from Phineas and Ferb, who is mpreg, and I was like, unfortunately, I do have to send this, which was then followed by Phineas and Ferb unfortunately kissing, and there's a thought bubble next to it that says, this is just an experiment, right?
What? What the fuck?
Which is exactly what I responded to that. And then my friend goes, fuck you guys, I opened that on my work computer. So it has leaked its way now, like, pretty far. But yeah, I think that was my high, was just the amount of, and it was a lot of Mike Wazowski mpreg.
Yes.
That happened.
I found a photo of, because the context of the mpreg was, our party goes to a warehouse. We're fighting some slads, which are like kind of these grung-like frog creatures.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure
like
what
dragon.
the difference.
You know what? Let me
Are they like
look
dragon
that up.
frogs?
I will look that up while you tell the story.
Okay. So they're kind of these frog-like creatures. So Joriel, who we mentioned last session, who's our paladin, Joriel is next to one of these slads, and then our DM says something, it tries to hit you, fails its roll, and the DM goes, okay, so it does not put eggs in you. I was like, what the ever-loving hell? So then that became a bunch of mpreg jokes that we kept saying over and over again. And we were like, why is this slad trying to mpreg Joriel? And then we, as most people say, like, you know, you roll a dirty 20, you say dirty 20. Sometimes we'll be like, okay, dirty, nasty 20, all this stuff. So then I said, okay, I got a dirty mpreg 20. The group did not like that.
I laughed so hard. Are you kidding me?
I think everybody else was disturbed. They were like, what?
Okay, I have information on the slad.
Okay.
Slads were frog-like natives of Limbo and well-known representatives of the ever-changing chaos, evolved or uplifted from the primordial soup of infinite potential. The belligerent Batrachians were disorder-given flesh and born carriers of chaos.
I wish I was a soup of potential.
No.
Christ.
Uplifted from the primordial soup of infinite potential is actually what's going to be written in my obituary.
Yes, and I'll make sure it happens because you're going to die by my hands. FBI look into that.
FBI look into this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was that, and then there was another thing that happened was we have this, I might have mentioned it in the last recording, not sure, but my character has this flash drive with the ability to kind of like siphon memories out of people. So we're trying to use it, and it's basically downloading all of the memories of this bad guy. And our DM's like, okay, storage full, you can't put any more on there. So I say, okay, what if my character deletes all of her memories of Googling girls kissing? So he says, okay, roll to see what percentage that would be. Roll a D100. Fortunately, but also unfortunately, I roll a 45%. So it made room for the other memories that I was trying to download. However, unfortunately, it's now canon that my character has spent 45% of her conscious life Googling girls kissing.
Which Which is like at first it doesn't sound crazy, but then you're like, half of her life was Googling, not just thinking about girls kissing, but actually Googling girls kissing
Yes.
on a computer.
And then our blood hunter Jojo, who has a robot arm now, he, trying to be a good friend, he goes, oh, liar, what would happen if you uploaded some of those memories you're deleting to my arm, so I'll keep them for you so you don't have to erase them completely. He gets 45% of girls kissing just in his arm. So now our blood hunter just knows a bunch of times that my characters just Googled girls plus girls kissing. Oh, and then the session ended with I accidentally uploaded all of the girls kissing memories to a shared family account.
Yeah.
So then next session we have to rush home to try to stop my character's mother from opening that.
That was
so
incredible.
Yeah, John Dungeons and Dragons can be a thing.
Yeah.
With that said,
No,
I stand behind John Dungeons and Dragons.
No, and I honestly might get a bumper sticker that says I stand with John Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah, just in case
he's out there.
Yeah.
I think my favorite memory, at least for Maggie, my character, was Maggie got to One Punch Man.
Yes.
A huge villain, with her fists and a spell called Adine's Furious Fists.
Mm-hmm.
One punched him, and then we revivified him to interrogate him, and then he called Maggie Toots, and so she was already monkey covering eyes emojiing him, so that he couldn't Misty Step away, but she instead just used burning hands to melt his head.
Yeah.
And that honestly felt like pretty cathartic, because this guy has been giving us trouble for a while, so that felt really good.
Yeah, he's been like a big bad in our campaign, so to finally get rid of him, though I'm not convinced that
he's gone.
That is the end. Yeah, because there's a bunch of stuff with clones. Well, one part, when we were fighting the Slads, there was a little cloaked wizard dude on Tailspire. I noticed his name was 31, and then the next turn came when I saw, oh my god, wait, his name's 118 now? I was like, wait, hold on a second. I'm like, what's going on with that? I'm thinking that there's clones switching in and out. So every time we hit this person, another clone goes in. I was like, holy shit. I'm thinking I basically just found Atlantis. I'm like, I've cracked the code. And our DM was like, actually, no. The numbers are me keeping track of how much damage you've done to him. I was like, okay. So I'm so wrong. Me looking for patterns that aren't there. Be like, wait, if X equals Y, but then Tin Buck is 2, then so the X-Files theme starts playing.
Wait, I actually do want to talk about that fight a little bit, because I got to use slow for the first time.
Ooh,
and that spell is overpowered, I fear.
It's so good.
As someone who has the spell, I'm not going to say anything. I know our DM does listen. Don't take that spell away from me. Please don't take that spell away from me. Please. But yeah, I mean, that spell is insane. So you alter time to up to 6 creatures. It's a wisdom saving throw. They take half speed, -2 penalty to AC and dex saving throws. Can't use reactions. It can only use an action or a bonus action, not both. And it can't take more than one melee or ranged attack during its turn. It also, if it tries to cast a spell, it may not work until the next turn, and it must use its action to complete the spell. And it just feels so overpowered. And it's a 3rd level spell. Like,
oh, it's only 3rd level?
It's only 3rd level. So I truly was like, I feel like they could have put this at like 5th or 6th level, and I would have been like, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it has inspired me now, if I do end up taking any more wizard levels, because I can't learn really any more spells now, to look at more spells like that instead of taking attack spells.
Yeah, that was like also a thing that happened with me is that like I completely just took support and roleplay spells for Liar for a while, and I was switching out my attack spells, and then all of a sudden we were in a fight one night, and I was like, wait, holy shit, I have nothing to hit these people.
Yeah.
I'm like, I literally can't do anything. So I have since taken another attack spell. So
Even in our Tuesday campaign, because we just leveled up, because we rolled for initiative, and then I was like, oh shit, I really don't have very many attacks. I've got Vicious Mockery. Well, all of my
yeah,
spells are
your cantrip.
charm-based. My cantrip. But I'm like, I don't have any that aren't for humanoids. All of my spells are for
Yeah.
humanoids, and it was a bunch of snakes that were gonna be fighting. And I was like, fuck, wait, none of my spells are gonna work for this snake. And then I was like, and then besides that, I have like Minor Illusion, Prestidigitation. So I just took,
You can take
what is it?
Major Illusion.
But I took, is it Thunderwave? Um,
Ooh.
yeah.
Watch
What do you
the
get?
snakes be immune to to thunder. Fuck.
Fuck.
God damn it.
What do you get for a monk level up?
Oh, I don't know. I know I mean, obviously my HP goes up. I think I just get more key points possibly.
Oh,
And then I
nice.
think it makes my unarmed, this is my first time playing a monk. So if you're experienced in monk and you're listening to this and you're like, she's a fucking idiot, then FBI, look into me after I beat your ass. I think I get more key points, and then I think my unarmed strike gets better. Oh, and I can deflect missiles now, but I think I got this at third
Oh.
level.
I just got an ability score improvement, and I used that to take 2 things of charisma. So now I've got an extra bardic. I'm up to
Ooh.
3 bardics now. I also took Enthrall, which is you weave a distracting string of words causing creatures of your choice that you can see within range and that can hear you to make a wisdom saving throw. Any creature that can't be charmed succeeds on the saving throw automatically, and if you and your companions are fighting a creature, has advantage. But basically, they have disadvantage on perception checks made until the spell ends.
Ooh.
And so I'm like, that might be really nice if we need to like be deceitful at all on the rest of this trip, which
Yeah.
kind of feels like we might need to because there's like doppelgangers and like
Oh, yeah.
stuff going on. We found that out like right at the end, and I'm like,
Yeah.
holy shit. Or
I know.
the clones? We have clones in
Uh,
both of our games.
And people be cloned. I think it seems like more of like a malicious doppelganger
Yeah.
sort of deal in the Tuesday campaign, but I love like weird like malevolent doppelganger shit.
Yeah.
Like I love I think it's Anasi's Goatman. I think that's how you pronounce it. Like that's one of my very favorite like scary stories. And that's about a creature that takes on the form of a person like on this camping trip, and like they'll infiltrate into the party. It's so good. But yeah, so I'm excited to see where that goes. But we only have like 6 more sessions left because it's a short campaign. So yeah, but we did
I already
sign up
miss it.
for. Yeah, I know. I already miss it. Oh, but we did sign up for Andy's other thing that they're doing on Sundays bi-weekly.
Yes.
So Andy's so nice. Andy's our DM, and Andy was telling us at the beginning of our session tonight, I'm doing a Sunday game. I have 1 free slot left. It's the only one of my games I'm running that isn't full. If anyone's interested, let me know. So then I messaged Andy and was like, oh hey, I'm interested if nobody else called dibs. And Andy was like, okay, Max called dibs first, but I feel so bad separating the two of you. I was
We
like,
come in
that's
a
so
pair."
true. Yeah, we do. We come in a pair. We're literally conjoined twins. But I said to Andy, I was like, okay, that's so nice of you. I'm so excited. But, if you feel like it'll be too big of a party, I totally will not be insulted if you let Max take the place. Like, it is totally fine. I understand that this might be sort of one of those. Sometimes it's going to be a situation where Max and I are 2 dogs in a kennel that have bonded, and one of us gets adopted and the other doesn't. So, and in this instance, it was gonna be me that didn't get adopted. But Andy was nice and was like, okay, I can, I might only have 1 dog house, but I could, like, make a patch of grass for the other one. So.
Because when Andy brought it up, so Yeah, God, what day is today? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Okay, so on Sunday morning, I woke up at like noon, but it was my day off.
Yeah.
But I woke up and I said, I need to play D&D right now.
You shot up.
I did. Arms crossed over my chest like a mummy, and I shot straight up. And I go, I have to play D&D. I have to roll a dice. And so,
like a crack addict.
like a crack addict, but with D&D.
Yes.
And so I went on start playing as I do, and I started browsing. And I saw, because then my New Year's resolution was to play more non-D&D tabletop role-playing games, just to expand my horizons. And there was one that was like, oh, it's a test run, so they're like running a game that hasn't come out yet, / like homebrew world. And I was like, ooh, you know what? Like, this is fun. I'll try this. And joined it. Then made my character creation. Okay, so the game that they're playtesting is Daggerheart, which is made by the same company that does Critical Role.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and they actually they're no longer playtesting it, and they just put it out yesterday. Yeah. So I was like, divine timing. The character creation process was really cool. Like the way the website just was designed and laid out, it honestly felt like I was playing a video game doing the like, character creation. And so that was like really fun. I think it's called like demiplane.com or something. But I made a little druid fairy because in the session notes that the DM like had posted every week, they were in the Feywild. So I was like, oh, you know, like I'll help the DM out. I'll make my character in the Feywild, so that way like I'm just popping in and they meet me there. And we don't have to figure it out. And then as we got closer to the time, I was like, I actually don't know if I want to do this. I think I woke up and just like barreled into it, and now I'm like, I don't know if I actually really want to play today. I'm kind of tired now. And
it's like so when you drink and you like do things you regret.
Yeah.
you sign up for yoga at like 9 a.m. and you're like, wait a second, I don't want to do this.
I was like, I started looking at all the rules because it's like learning a new game, and I picked up Kids on Bikes pretty quick. But this one was much more complicated. And so I was just like, I don't know if I want to be doing all this. Like, this is a lot. And so I was debating quitting and it's on Sundays. I was debating quitting the Sunday game. So then when Andy dropped, like, that slot was open, I was like, actually, done. Sold. Yeah. I needed a reason to leave this because I was confused anyways. Well, then, as I'm reading more into the notes of this game, they're doing Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which is a module I have ran before. Not fully, but I have ran it. And so I was like, I can't even do this anyways because I know everything that happens in this module. I've read the thing cover to cover. But then I was like, crazy that he's marketing it as a homebrew game when this is straight out of Wild Beyond the Witchlight. But yeah, I thought that was interesting.
Which, like, I get it. It's like, you know, most things take inspiration from other things. Absolutely. But to basically do Wild Beyond the Witchlight.
All of the names of the places were the same. The characters were the same. The plot was the exact same. I was like, this is just the module. Like, there's not even changing of the name to anything. It was straight up Slanty Hill Tower and, like, Sir, whatever his name is, the knight. I was like, okay.
Do you ever Google when you're playing a game, specifically Dungeons and Dragons or like a TTRPG, and it's like, oh, giving all these like names of like lore and stuff? Do you ever Google it to see if it already exists somewhere?
So
if it's homebrew.
Yeah, so often I am gardening, so I'm just la-di-da, like I'm just like, you know, I'm just like, wow, magic is so beautiful and so cool. Every so often, if I'm, like, not as gardened as I tend to be, I will be like, let me look that up real quick. But then I'm always like, is that metagaming? Like, am I not supposed to do that?
I try not to, but because I'm like, I don't want to metagame, but
sometimes I'm just a curious little bee, and I just want to know.
Buzz, buzz.
Buzz, buzz.
And you're always saying that.
And I'm always saying that. I did have, when I was playing Balls Out Your Gate,
Balls Out Your Gate 3.
Balls Out Your Gate 3. And a floating city was mentioned, and a floating city just came up in our campaign, and our DM was in the chat while I was playing the game. I was like, hey, does this have any relation to our game at all? And, yeah, I did. And so I was like,
Your-
okay, well, now I know. Now I'm metagaming fully.
Now I'm metagaming by playing Balls After Gate 3. Oh, I haven't like seen you stream it recently. How's your progress in Balls After Gate 3 going?
So okay, I really don't know what I'm doing at any given moment, and I do
Period.
think I'm finally getting better. Like I think I'm navigating the game a little bit better, and I know like how to play each of the different classes on Baldur's Gate better. But I'm like not sure because it's not open world, but it's like low key open world. Like it's pretty big, and there's some guidance on where to go, but not a ton. And so I'm
Yeah.
just like, it'll like show me. I'm like, okay, I can go through this portal, and then it's like, are you sure you want to go through this portal? And I'm like, well, now I'm not. Now I'm not sure if I should go through this portal. But then I'm like,
Don't ask me.
I don't know. Like, can I come back? Like, I don't know what the. So I've gone through 2 portals like that. I don't know if that's too far, but like I'm not sure. So that's I guess where I'm at in the game. Whereas I'm genuinely like, what is it called? XP grinding right now. I'm just looking for people to kill in the game so I can XP grind, so that I don't die as often. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I have portal anxiety ever since we
Yeah.
got, because in our Monday game we had a druid for like a hot second, and he jumped into, we were trying to avoid going into this portal when we were locked in a room, and he kind of just like made the decision for us and jumped in there, and we were just like, all right, I guess we have to go in there now. And then it took us so long to get out of that
Yeah.
world that now I'm like, every time I see a portal or a mysterious door, I'm like, I want to stay far away from it.
And we actually never even got back to that world. Did we get back to the original world we went to
No.
once we got to the Domain of Dread? Yeah, I'm like, I don't even think we ever got back to that original world because I think we got quangled from the Domain of Dread.
Yeah, because it was like we were in the same world, just not the same. Oh, well, actually, I guess it was like an AU version of it. I don't know. I don't really. I'm not unsure, but it was. We were in our own time period. We went through the portal, ended up in the Domain of Dread, got out of the Domain of Dread, went back to our original world, but like 10 years before.
Yeah.
And so then we had to find a way to try to go back to our original time. We couldn't do it. We just ended up having to go to an alternate universe of our world. So,
And that's why we have portal anxiety.
yeah, it's like when Rick and Morty have to kill themselves in that one episode.
Whenever I explain our campaign to someone, I use that Rick and Morty episode I'm like, it's like with the portal gun and how like every so often they just have to like change worlds. It's just kind of like that. Like we've just gone into a world that is almost exactly like our original one.
Oh my god. I want to talk about cute dice and cute trays.
Yeah. Done.
I actually think you might have also liked this on Instagram because I saw your little icon by the likes, but I saw that somebody made a resin teacup thing,
Yeah.
and it was like a dice tray. So it's like a ceramic teacup, and then inside of it is resin tea looking things with like little herbs, and you like throw your dice in there. It's a little dice tray. It's so cute. I loved it. Oh, people are so creative. And then also right before this, I saw somebody got commissioned to make dice, and they took a couple's wedding bouquet and they put that in the dice resin, and then they also made them a little bird. It's so cute. Mm-hmm. Do you have like a favorite pair of dice that you have?
I do. So I've got like my first pair of dice that I ever got. Was
Baby's first diaper dice.
First diaper dice. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a gift.
It's just a binky.
It's just a whole bunch of, or the like little plastic babies that are inside.
Yes. And there's just like numbers written all over it in Sharpie.
I got them as like a gift from Stream, and they're just like pink sparkly like dice, and they're beautiful, but they are cursed. They roll so bad.
Oh no.
Shit. In fact, I always keep a D20 in my fanny pack at all times.
Okay.
Just in case I need
you have to battle someone?
Just in case I gotta battle someone. Well, listen, it's come in handy because like if we're like trying to figure out like fuck, where do we eat? It's like, okay, evens odds, let me roll my dice. Or during, my friend had a Christmas party, got me a Christmas gift, I got a dice tower as my Christmas gift, and then I go, I have a fucking dice in my bag, and everyone wanted to use the new dice tower, so it's come in handy. But
I thought you were like rolling initiative in real life. Like if you get into a bar fight with somebody.
I'm like, okay, let's roll initiative. Okay, I got
and
a
they
10.
just punch you in the face.
What's your dexterity? They just hit me before I can even finish.
What's your dexterity? Oh my god, that's so fucking funny.
But my favorite dice, actually, and the ones that roll the best, are a dice set that I got when I was going to teach my roommates D&D. And it was a 12-pack of, like, 12 different sets of dice. And it was, like, $10 for, like, all that dice. And I was like, that's perfect, because I'm going to start hosting D&D nights, which I did. It was really fun. But, yeah, it's just, like, a pink with white numbers on it, and it truly, like, the amount of, I just rolled a nat 1 on it. That's so funny. It was like, keep my name out your damn mouth, actually. So I take it all back.
Bitch.
Never mind. Yeah, what about you? Do you have a favorite pair of dice?
Oh yeah, I have a set of dice. It's pink, purple, and blue, and they're sparkly. And when I graduated college, my old professor slash like one of my mentors slash was also my boss for a while, and she's one of my favorite people. Like, would take a gun for her. I absolutely adore her. Yeah, she was like, oh, like you just graduated, let me get you a present. And so we were like hanging out in the city. We were getting like dinner or something. And so she's like, oh, what do you want? I was like, oh, actually, like I really like games, like I love playing Dungeons and Dragons. So we went to a game shop that was nearby where we were eating, and she bought me the dice set. Aww. And they're the ones that I like mainly use. I have another set that are really cute, and it's like pink little flowers inside of clear resin, but I had to give them to Brian because Brian needs them.
Damn.
Yeah.
Are you like a they call them dice goblins?
No, I would like to get more dice. It's just that I don't need more dice right now.
Fair.
And also my little pouch is like pretty small, but I keep them in. So maybe like one day I'll buy more. I feel like they'd have to be really cute. But yeah, I don't financially need all of that dice.
Fair.
If they're all serving the same purpose. So when people are like, oh, I have like 1 million sets of dice, I'm like, okay. Have you paid your mortgage? Rent's coming up.
Okay.
Is your water shut off?
Because
Do you have a lot of dice?
I have a lot of dice. I actually don't have... No, and I haven't paid my credit card in a minute, but...
Oh my god, not me. I was really coming for your throat.
I was dying. The second you started saying it, I was like, no, fair enough. I don't have like a ton, like in total, like set wise, because like a lot of the ones I got, I gave to my friends like when I moved, because I was like, I want you guys to have dice. In total, like full set, I probably have like 4. And then I get like random ones that are like $1. Like I'll get like a D20 or like I think 50 cents at my the local game store. But I just love like little, like I'm like every other bitch. I love trinkets, and so these are my little trinkets. Like, yeah. People are getting the little dolls, you know, like the
Sunny Angels.
The Sunny's Angels, which I do have a single one I just glued to my car permanently.
Oh, like the front of it?
No, it's
like one of those like wood carven mermaid. Oh. Yes. Oh, the huggy one.
Yeah, and I have it inside on my like right above my like little radio, so it looks like he's like, and it kind of looks like he's about to crawl into the vent.
Me
vent.
too. I'm in your vent right now.
I'm in your vent
Look
right
up.
now. But I think dice are so pretty, and I also like the mystery bags where it's like you don't know what you're gonna get. And so I am someone who does buy a lot of dice, but I don't buy expensive dice because to me, dice are dice. If they're
Yes.
over $15 for a whole set, I'm not spending money. And if it's 15, or if it's more than $3 for a single dice, there's no way. Because in my head, I'm just rolling them. I do think one day I'll probably buy like a really nice thing, unless I just find some pretty ones, but I do want to like display them on my wall and have them just always be up there, so it's like I don't play with them, but like they are like decor.
Yeah, so that if somebody breaks into your house and tries to
decor
rob you,
that
then
no
you
one
can
will
roll
steal.
initiative.
I can roll.
too.
I was like, they will not take that. So at the very least,
You're at the ready to roll initiative with the home intruder.
yeah. My whole room is empty, but the dice are still on the wall.
Yeah. Also, side thing, but I'm looking at my notes app because I wrote down like the stuff that we wanted to talk about. And this is completely non-related to the subjects we talked about wanting to discuss, but it just says Bard who makes t-shirts as his art form and gives screen printed t-shirts out as Bardic has a t-shirt cannon, like in parentheses, gun flavored. I was like, I don't remember coming up with that, but
that's phenomenal though. That's so fun.
Maybe that'll be what I play in the Sunday game. Honestly, I can't even remember what Andy said was
It's space.
Was it the space opera?
Yeah, dude, it's space opera. Falling Stars, Cosmic Convergence. Sci-fi fantasy adventure. So maybe this is our time for Space Ghosts. We play a ghost.
Yes, Space Ghosts. Okay, I've told you my Space Ghosts.
Yes.
Idea.
I think you should tell the audience because it's phenomenal.
Okay, so in the last, I'd say like maybe like 20 years or so, I feel like Hollywood and people that make art in general have started to realize, okay, a lot of stuff has already been done. It's hard to come up with new concepts. So there's this reoccurring pattern of people taking two genres and meshing them together. Take with like Nope, for example. It's Western meets horror.
I was just gonna say pirates and aliens.
Yes.
And say no. Or not pirates. Cowboys and
Cowboys.
aliens.
Cowboys and pirates and aliens. Oh my. But yeah, just like in that. And then like the movie Abigail, it's like that's vampires plus heist. So then I realized while gardening one night, I was like, there's no real movie that's about ghosts in space. Like, I don't know if anyone's ever seen the movie Ghost Ship. I don't know if our audience meshes with the Ghost Shippers, but that fan base. However, Ghost Ship is a movie about, there was like a massacre on a ship, and it's just like been floating out in the ocean, and there's ghosts on it. So then this like team of people go on the ship and they have to like deal with the ghosts and stuff. I want that in outer space. Instead of aliens, I want a team of like astronauts or somebody. They're just like out in the fucking dead black void of space. All of a sudden they run into like an old decrepit space station, and they're like, holy shit, we've never seen this before, what the fuck is it? They go on there, and the ghosts of all the dead people on the spaceship start going after them, and I think that'd make a really good movie. And every time I tell people, they're like, how gardened were you when you came up with this? I was like, very. I was
genius.
Yeah. Get me, and who made the Alien movies? Get me on the phone with Susan Sarandon right now. Oh wait, no, she wasn't in that. Who the fuck was in Alien?
I was gonna say Susan Sarandon.
No,
I thought it was Susan Sarandon until maybe last year.
Susan Sarandon?
Yeah, until probably last year. And it was me going, Susan Sarandon is so fine. And someone goes, who?
Oh, it's Sigourney Weaver.
Which I only know from Finding Nemo.
She's in Finding Nemo?
They mention her in Finding Nemo.
She's Marlin?
Oh, wait, no. She's the voice of the aquarium. I think.
Oh.
Hold up. Watch her not be. Oh, no, she was in Finding Dory. Okay.
What the hell? Oh my god, I did not know that.
As herself. What an icon.
As herself. When you're so famous that you can just play yourself in a Pixar movie.
Were we talking about Dory yesterday?
I don't think so.
Finding Nemo didn't come up in our game at all. I feel like I'm having like a...
It was your other bitch. It was your other bitch that you played D&D with. It was your side hoe.
I don't have any other bitches I play D&D with than you, I promise.
Show me your phone. Open your WhatsApp. I want to see the secret folder. Who are you dice rolling with that isn't me? Why are you coming home late?
Genuinely, I would say 90% of my tabletop role-playing has been with you.
It is, yeah.
In my whole life, it has been with you.
45% of your memories are you playing tabletop role-playing games with me.
Wait, did I already talk about the solo TTRPG I've been playing?
No, tell me.
Oh my god, okay. I'm so excited to talk about this. Okay, so I've been playing a little game called Kuriko, A Magical Year by Jack Hansden, I think. But basically, it is a, like, very, Jack Harrison. It is inspired by Kiki's Delivery Service, which I have never seen a Studio Ghibli movie, but...
Jail.
I know. It's gonna
Prison.
happen one day. But I love the aesthetic of it. I don't know anything. I don't know what's going on, but I think it's cute. And so basically you are a 16-year-old witch, and to play you need a deck of tarot cards and 6 six-sided dice, or 12 six-sided dice, but I have not been doing that. I kind of just do my own thing. But it's basically, it's a journaling game, and so it gives you prompts, and it's like, okay, my name is blank.
John Dungeons and Dragons.
My name is John Dungeons and Dragons, and if you were to see me, I would have blank hair, blank eyes, and it's like fill in the blank for a little bit, and then like that's the character building of it, like that's how you create your character, and you have like kind of like Kids on Bikes, where you have things that you carry with you, and those might give you like benefits or whatever. And then it's like, okay, you've got 2 days before you leave. What are you doing before you leave? Roll a 6-sided dice, and it's going to tell you where you go and what happens. And so it was like, oh, you go to a memorable place and you see a mom and a baby doing what? And so I was like, oh, my character goes to the beach, and there she sees a mom and a baby playing as like a sandcastle. And then it's like, okay, now it's the next day, like what happens then? And then you like roll about like your flight to the new city and what happens there. And it's so much journaling. I have filled up on my notebook. Like I am writing, if you could see this, these are like the notes of a mad person. Like it is crazy.
Oh my god. Those are the scribblings of an early onset dementia patient.
And you know why? It's because I'll end stream and I'll go at like probably 1 a.m. and then I'll go, okay, like I want to play my little journaling game to like unwind, because like I get like hyped up streaming, and so I'm like I need to like unwind before I go to bed. And so I've been doing this. So it's like 1 a.m. I'm so gardened, and I've got like, you know, Kiki's Delivery Service like playing on in the background, like the audio, and I'm journaling, and I've got like mood lighting in my room, and I'm just hunched over, like scribbling like crazy.
Like Beethoven.
Like Beethoven. Like
exactly
he's
like
mad,
Beethoven.
but he's genius. Yeah. And that's me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've got a little witch named Margot, and she's got Coke bottle glasses and curly pink hair, and she carries a fallen star in a glass jar. She's got you get a familiar, so I have a little kitten. And
is his name John Dungeons and Dragons?
It is John Dungeons and Dragons. And so yeah, it's been really cute. I really like it. You can find it on itch.io.com, and there are free copies, community copies. Ooh. There's 798 remaining, so if you want in on this action, go now.
Okay, all 9 of our listeners.
Yeah.
Which, who knows, maybe we'll have 10 next time.
Hey,
Yeah.
Who knows?
The ghost ship army will come to this podcast to listen. You know, I'm gonna find the ghost ship Reddit and I'm gonna post this podcast there and be like, if you love ghost ship, you're gonna want to hear what I have to say.
You're gonna want to hear this
about ghost space.
You'll get at least one person who goes, you know what? Yeah, I'll listen.
You know what? Hell yeah.
Just out of pure curiosity. And then they'll be like, whoa, this is really funny.
Yeah. Has Margot run into any, like, conflict yet? Or is it, like, what can you tell us about her adventures?
So, right now, she is about to arrive to the new city. On her first day of adventure, it's actually kind of so sad. So it's like a running theme with Maggie is that she is an orphan. And
as we've
she's not. Well, we don't know about her mom, but her dad is definitely alive. He just kind of left her. But in this one, I was like, okay, she's gonna have you have a mentor, and that's who you kind of see before you leave. And so I rolled for my mentor, the last day, and it was like, oh, like, what do you and your mentor do before you leave? And so I was like, I'm gonna roll a nat 20 to see if it goes, like, good or bad. And I rolled a nat 1. And so I was like, I fear the bit has to continue. She simply has to be abandoned. So, the mentor's name is Hawk, and they had dinner together, and then they left. And Margot doesn't know when they're going to come back or when they'll see them again, because now Margot's moving to a new city to begin her apprenticeship. So it's kind of like she no longer was her mentor anymore, I guess. But it was just very sad. I felt bad for Margot, but I also did it to Margot.
God.
So
that's so sad.
Yeah.
Poor
So
Margot.
now I think I just have to always make characters whose parents abandoned, or whose adult figures abandoned them. Minus Fork. Fork is gonna have two very loving moms. If anything happens to Fork's moms, I'll kill myself. And then FBI look into that.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Aw, that's so sad though. But maybe when she goes to the new city, maybe she'll find somebody new.
Yeah, so I'm excited.
Or maybe you'll come on next week and be like, actually, there's more adults that hate her.
Yeah, she met a girl from a neighboring town on day 1 of her journey, another witch. And so she is going to have a friend in another city. So, yeah. So, cute. We'll see. The next part is creating the new city. So I'm going to do that tonight, and I'm very excited. I'll let you guys know how it goes.
I think that'd be really cool if you did that on stream one time.
I think I'm going to do it on Buds and Blades. It's hard because I don't know what I want to, like, write, because it's a lot of writing. I wish I could draw, because I would do this and then draw scenes from it, like, that I'm picturing in my head, like, and I would draw that live, but I have zero artistic ability, so I don't really know how to, like, make it to where it's, like, entertaining to watch, other than, like, because if I'm just writing, you know?
Well, I was gonna say, maybe instead of you writing in a journal, maybe it's, like, a split screen where it's, like, you on one side, and then the other side is, like, maybe your character is, like, oh, they're writing in a typewriter, so they can see, like, a note, like, a Word document of you, like, typing as if you're journaling as them.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wait, that's really cute.
I really like personal journaling. Like, that's something I do, like, every other night. So maybe I should do that.
Speaking of journaling, I'm not a journaler at all. I have many a therapists have said, you should journal, because I forget how I feel about, like, 90% of the time. So I'll be like, how was your week? And I'd be like, I actually don't know. I don't remember what happened. I'd be like, oh, I think there was something happened this day. And they're like, well, how'd you feel? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm just really bad at journaling, because as soon as I start to write my feelings out, I have a Capricorn moon, so I'm just, like, not good with my emotions. But journaling through this, as I'm like, okay, it's someone else, I'm like, this is fun. So I think I want to get into, like, journaling and just get, like, a really cute journal to be doing all of this in. So then it's like, I've got a cute journal. I can start adding, like, cute little things to it. I already made a Pinterest board for my, like, Kuriko game. So I'm like, maybe I'll, like, print out, like, cute pictures from there and stuff like that. And I do want to find, like, a pit crew so I could, like, make the little witch and, like, make Margot. Which I went on a date with someone named Margot, and they're like
Oh.
the one who got away.
Oh,
Dead
no.
ass. But I was like, unfortunately,
Margot,
the
if
name
you're
is so
listening.
cool. I have to
Yeah.
use it. But Margot, if
I
you're
do love
listening.
Margot. Yeah. Oh, was there anything else you wanted to touch on?
I don't think so.
Cock and balls?
Cock
Okay.
and cock and balls.
You know what? And I'm always saying that.
And I'm always saying that.
Alright,
I think
guys.
that's it.
Yeah, thank you for listening.
Thanks
We'll
for
be back
listening.
next Friday.
Yes.
Bye.
Bye.